Welcome to the Union Football Coaches Show. Rick Corey, along with the head coach of the Redskins, Kirk Frederick. And boy, I got to tell you, Coach, I was actually on the air doing another game when your game was going on. Saw 21-20 in the third quarter, and you scared me a little bit. But this is a game that coaches like to call classic trap games. As you were preparing for this game, how did you convince your team that this is a really good team and you got to be up?
Well, I think that obviously I didn't do a very good job of it. Looking back, it's definitely, when the kids aren't prepared to play, it goes back on me. And I think that a lot of our kids, the way we travel, the things we wanted to do, we just weren't as sharp as we needed to. And I knew that Moore was a better team than they hadn't been in the past. I also knew that, they could challenge us a little bit, but I felt like we would win the game. And you get into it, and they start playing a little bit better. We had 3 turnovers. We hadn't had that issue all year. And it turns into a game where you start to look at, we may not get our district points. We're going to get in a situation where it's going to be tight late and going to have to make some plays. And so we just challenged our kids a little bit, made some adjustments. And fortunately for us, our offense kept moving. We finally stopped turning the ball over, and we're able to put some points on the board.
And, it's really nice to be able to say that you didn't play that well, yet you had 700-plus yards of offense. Let's take a look at the numbers. And that is what's amazing about this game. Union puts up 720 total yards of offense. Having been there and you're in the moment at the end of the game, did that surprise you to see that number?
It really did. I heard people saying, we had 400 yards passing, and I'm like, where'd those come from? You just don't remember seeing the game that way. But, within the game, there are kids that made some exceptional plays, and we put some things together and again, started to really put together a really good second half. And proud of the way that our kids continue to play. Tyler Atkins rushed for about, I think, 170 yards on the night, and he was able to break a record, a scoring point record, and so he broke Jeremy Smith's point records. Jeremy had scored 366 points in his career here, and Tyler, with his 3 touchdowns, went over that. So excited for him and what he did. But again, I think the thing that was frustrating was the turnovers, and then defensively, we just did really poor on third down. Offensively, we did poor on third down. It reminded us of some of those early games that we played. But you look at, hey, when we went forward on fourth, we got it, and so you're able to put up quite a few yards and some points.
And you get the win, which is really the most important thing of all. And when you look back at those kinds of games, it's nice to be able to say that you didn't play well and you won by about 30. And you did end up with your district points, and now you kind of move on and put that behind you. So what's the message after a game like that?
Well, as we talked to the team, we had to say, remember that young team we talked about? We're past that point. We're mature. How does a mature team handle situations? What do you want to do with the rest of your season? How do you want to perform? Because you don't want to waste a Friday night. You want to come out, and there's not very many of them left. And so you don't want to waste that opportunity. You want to come back, and we want to go to work on Monday and have a great week of preparation.
Well, let's take a look at the first half. We'll do that when we come back. We'll get the first half highlights of Union and Moore. This one was on the road in Moore. It's really an interesting thing to go down to Oklahoma City for a road game. We'll cover that when we come back on the Union Football Coaches Show.
No matter how you play, or work, or live, life sometimes throws you a curve. At Eastern Oklahoma Orthopedic Center, we help you get back to playing, working, and living your life. EOC, Tulsa's finest and most experienced provider of sports medicine care for over 30 years. Visit us at eoc.com.
What's so different about Arvest? Let's ask real customers.
I have the free business checking account.
They seem interested in making sure that your business is successful.
I'm in here probably 3 to 4 days a week.
They've helped me with lines of credit when I needed extra money for capital.
We didn't have to even come to the bank. He came to the warehouse.
I've got tons of locations in the small towns where we end up building stuff at.
I didn't think it was, it could ever be done, but when I come down here, it was done.
Arvest Bank. Our customers say it best.
Welcome back. This is the Union Football Coaches Show. I'm Rick Corey, along with Kirk Frederick, the head coach of the Redskins. Let's get right to the highlights. First half of Union taking on Moore down in Moore, of course, just outside Oklahoma City, between there and Norman. And this is always an interesting thing to go on the road, Coach. It's only about a 2-hour bus ride. Still, it's a road trip.
It really is. Just trying to get down there in time to get dressed and and have our guys prepared for the game. And it takes a lot, from our equipment managers to our Booster Club, Mama Skins, packing meals, getting everyone there. But we've done it a few times, and we're excited to come out of there with the victory.
Start off with guess who? Tyler.
Tyler Atkins, a heavy dose of him, and you can see Tyler just making some really outstanding runs inside. You see here we're going to work a little sprint out. Great protection. They covered up well, and Brandon does a nice job of getting what he can. We talk about going hash number sideline. Let's work our way out of bounds. Got a nice little fly sweep there to AK. Picks up some nice yardage. You can see we come back here with Shamari. After this, a really methodical drive. I think it was about 12 or 13 plays, and you can see that that offensive line just going to work against Moore.
Nice job. When you get Shamari in there, he's such a different player, yet he still is so strong.
Big block there by Carlos Barrios as he caved down that side, and we go in for a score. Moore starts out with a nice little reverse pass. It's a heck of a job by their coaching staff, and hits a big play early on down the field. And again, they do a really good job of moving the chains on us, and defensively, we've got to respond and try to make some plays. Come back here, they get down to the goal line. Love how our guys inside the goal line have really played well. You see Io make a nice play on the pitch. We got really good coverage there as the quarterback sprints out. See Shamari come up and make a nice play on the quarterback. And unfortunately, we lose the tight end there, and they go in and score, make it a tough game. Defensively, they come right back and stop us here early on. You can see we got to try to get the ball outside. We get the ball to Tyler. They chase us down. And again, just a couple of misfires here or there, and it makes it tough on us. See, Brandon threw the ball, I thought, exceptionally well all night. And I think he had quite a few yards throwing the football, 300-something yards, and threw the ball very well. A couple games in a row that Brandon's played really well. Tyler DeSmith at D-line there trying to get some work done. You see Asa Carter in there, Devin Bajek. What a great play. Dropped an interception there to Io. And defensively, we forced him to punt and get us right back to work. Love seeing Shamari in there. Does a great job. His explosion. Finds the gap, gets in the hole. Look at Big Lopez there on the power play. Shamari jump cuts to the outside, and that's an exceptional run there for Shamari Brooks. Outstanding job. You got a great block down the field by Cameron McQueen. You can see the big block coming up right here. There's Cameron right there at the goal line. Changes that play from a big play to a touchdown.
Nice job by Shamari to make sure that he knows where that end zone is too.
Defensively, there's Lee Barnes. I'd love to see Lee Barnes come in, made nice play. He and Devin Bajek both played outstanding. Did on the night. You see Raper in there, Caleb Raper with a big stop there at nose guard. Did a nice job. Got a big play on the first down. Try to come back to the boot play. We catch it there early on. You see Mitchell Lewis contains it really well, and again gets them off the field and try to get us back on track.
Right here, you got to be feeling pretty good. Really playing well defensively, a couple of good drives.
That's right. They did such a great job of packing the inside run play, and we just had to continue to pound at them and try to get the running yardage we could while we could adjust. And when they've got it packed in like that, you've got to get the ball out on the edge. You can see there we threw a nice little smoke screen out there to AK. Come back with the screen play, and they read it really well, and there's one of those turnovers that we talked about. They do a nice job after turnover and hit us down the field. Aaron Ugball with the stop there. You can see our defense starting to set on their heels a little bit, give up a rushing gap there, and Moore does a nice job of getting the ball, again, moving the ball into scoring territory.
Really relying on that slot guy tight end.
Got a nice play there by Starks to break it up. Good job there down the field. Quarterback has to pull the ball down, and they're grinding at us, picking up a first down here or there, and we hold them in there. Man, what a kicker all night long. You should have seen the way he's kicking it out of the back of the end zone. The punts were incredible. That kid is an outstanding kicker. always exciting when you get this guy the ball. You can see we come out there with Trey, and he's one of those guys. He's just so tough to get a hold of, and kind of gave us a little spark early on. See Tyler with a nice run down the play there. Got a great block by Kellen Stouter on the edge. You see another pancake block in there inside. I think that was Cutshaw on the pancake block. And really good job there by Tyler.
Great job by those students too. A couple different angles on that. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. Covered up well. Brandon does a nice job getting the ball down, get it to Tyler, a little check down route, and continues to give us an opportunity to keep the drive alive. Get into a 4th down situation, and of course you're always going to have Deontay Calvert. Just throw it up. Kid makes unbelievable catches, has for 2 years. You see Deontay gets behind the corner. Corner does a great job in coverage, but Deontay, the focus he has to bring that ball down, really exceptional play. Great job by David Warner on the edge. David does a nice job on the stretch play with the block there, and you can see Tyler, it just doesn't look like there's much there, and he's able to see it and get into the end zone.
Yeah, David is really kind of an unsung guy. He makes a lot of good blocks out there in the corner.
Huge hit on the outside there. They tried their version of the smoke screen, and you can see there, man, love the camera angle there, and there's Trey coming in with the big stop there from the corner position. Pressure from Shamari. They put the ball up. They do a really nice job, and just get a little leverage on the sideline and pass the ball down the field. If you were an offensive guy, you loved the way this first half was going because both teams were moving the ball up and down the field.
Well, they're drawing it up too. It's a nice game plan.
They hit us with the little fake smoke screen pass there and get into the end zone. Offensively, we've got to answer, and you can see right now those big guys up front. There's Lopez with the nice block as those guys continue to kind of pound it away and move the football. Going into the half, we knew that we need to play very tight here. We knew we were in a battle, as you said, in that 3rd quarter. It got down there to about a 1-point game, and so defensively, we know that we've got to find a way to try to get off the field. Moore does a really nice job of finding their slot, their tight end, and giving them an opportunity to move the football. You can see Darius Thornton coming in, trying to rip the ball out, trying to create some turnovers. And there's a big play there by Devin Bajek. And just don't get, there seems like a ball would be on the ground, it'd be there, and we just couldn't get on it. They have a nice running play inside. Gets them down into the end zone, and we are really close to giving up either another score and being in trouble. And Aaron Ugball comes up with a nice interception here before the half, and love the way our defense played and played stingy down in the red zone. Come back with Tyler, going to give him a couple of runs, see if we can get something going early on and give us an opportunity to move the football here late in the 2nd quarter. And we get the ball to AK with the nice throw and catch from Brandon. Come back with a little screen underneath. And you can see they were kind of in a prevent situation, and CJ gets quite a few yards there. We're trying to get, the last play off here with 1 second left, and so just kind of throw the ball up, see what can happen. I mean, we are so close right there. So the ball just short of the goal line there to Spencer.
So it's 21-17 here at the half, and you know you've got some things to work on, but most of what you're looking at here are things that you can correct. And, here's how you get this guy, or you bump him off the line, or that kind of thing. So certainly, I don't want to say worried, but you have things to work on.
Well, we knew we had to make some adjustments. The defensive coaches have done a great job. Hey, they're moving the football. Here's some things. Here's the highlights of what they need to do, what the safeties need to look. A lot of it was mental effort of understanding what the formation is, what their game plan is to attack us. And you'll see in the second half defensively, our guys were able to make some of those adjustments and slow them down. Offensively, it was more just refocus and make sure we're taking care of the football.
So what you're going to see when we come back is the second half highlights. It'll get a little bit closer before you see Union kind of put the old hammer down on Moore. That's coming up next on the Union Football Coaches Show.
work in production, and I help cover a lot of college football games. There's a ton of running and lots of travel all over the place. You might think I'd go with a mega bank for the convenience, but actually I just switched to TTCU. I could have signed up online, but I decided just to walk in, and I'm so glad I did. Just for opening a checking account, they gave me $50 and $50 to a local school. And now when I travel, it's like a little piece of home is always with me. It really is unbeatable.
We're back, and this is the Union Football Coaches Show. I'm Rick Corey, along with Kirk Frederick, the head coach of the Redskins. Let's get right to the second half highlights. Union and more. It's a tight game, 21-17. And, Coach, you've made some adjustments at the half that you want to see some immediate benefits.
Well, we did, and one was, just establishing our mental effort, trying to stay focused on what we do. Shamari comes out, makes a nice play. Jared Starks finishes it up. You can see right there, Tyler DeSmit, Asa Carter, really the whole defensive line, Devin Bajek in there doing a nice job. And this play right here is my fault where he adjusted the defense, and they do a good job of calling the best play for the situation, and gives up a first down. Defensively, we've got to make sure we're playing really tough, and you can see Devin Bajek, just the way the defensive line is playing with the increased effort, making it a little bit tougher for Moore to execute some of those plays. Missed the tailback down the side, right down the middle there. Gets them into a red zone situation. But again, you've got to credit our defense. I believe we step up and hold them to a field goal here. And so you've got to kind of count it as a success to force these guys to a field goal the couple of times they've been down in the red zone.
And with a kicker like that, he's probably going to hit that one from a little further
count
out.
on it with that kid, that's for sure.
So it's 21-20, and now it's time to go to work offensively.
Offensively, we challenge our kids. We want to try to get our district points in a district race of trying to get a 15-point margin. So we've got quite a bit of work to do in a game like this. You see CJ gets the ball early on. I think we threw the ball to CJ 5 times. He caught all 5 passes on the night, so really nice sophomore receiver. There's Tyler here again. Love the camera work again from the sideline. Outstanding job. When we do this show, I get to see things that I don't get to see because of the different angles that we use. There's the ball again to CJ. Nice read by Brandon. Got the ball on their end of the field now. Got great protection. Able to throw the ball up, and I thought we were going to come up with that one. Trying to take a shot just to kind of keep them off our heels a little bit the way they packed it into the box. Nice throw and a catch out there to Deontay. Deontay had a nice night at receiver as well. And unfortunately, I think we threw 3 touchdown passes to get 1 here because we weren't able to come up with the ball on a couple of these. See Brandon with the scrambling ability, and what a nice throwing catch to Deontay. Again, I believe on a 4th down situation, scrambles and gets into the end zone.
He's done such a nice job of keeping plays alive, but his eyes are always downfield.
Kyrie Fisher with a nice stop. Does a great job reducing the shoulder, getting underneath the block. Makes a really nice play. There's Kyrie again on pressure. And 2 plays in a row affected specifically by the way Kyrie played from that outside backer position. And I'm not sure what the situation was there, a little trick or what it was, but our guys did a really good job with it. Get the ball to AK and watch the guy go to work. Does a nice job, hang on to the football. They're trying to strip it out while he's continuing to chew up yards.
Yeah, they want to try to get the ball. He wants to get 6. And see, there's the difference.
Great job from the sideline. It doesn't look like he's doing a whole lot, but I mean, you look up and you've got 35 yards, and really elusive with the way he runs with the football.
And he made the first guy miss too. You got to remember he's also quick.
Here we are, get it out here to Landon. So let's try the other side again. When they're in man coverage, you can get that first guy blocked. CJ on a nice block there. The one before that, going to the outside there was to McQueen, and get a nice play there. But unfortunately, we don't hang on to the ball, and there's that another turnover. Really makes it tough on our guys. Our defense responding quickly, trying to do what they can, playing with a little more attitude. You love that play right there. You see Io come in with the big stop there on the sideline with Darius Thornton. Heading into the 4th quarter, we've got some work to do. Defensively, our guys trying to rip the ball out, again, just causing some missed tackles. We've got to do a better job with it. Finally get underneath one of those routes and just right off the hands on a couple of interceptions from our guys. You can see the defense flying around. Come back underneath, and man, I love this play. Thought Brandon read it very well. Get the ball to CJ, makes 2 guys miss. then he breaks the tape. I guess he thought he's running 100 meters right there as he comes across.
Watch him when he catches this thing. There are guys within a couple of steps, and watch the acceleration.
Great acceleration by CJ, and again, I know he runs track, so I'm sure Coach Stockton will be excited about the lean right there at the end.
Hey, it's okay as long as you're in, my friend.
Inspires our defense. Big Lee Barnes inside at nose guard, just clogging everything up. You can see those guys, good pressure underneath there by the right defensive end. Got a nice job there. I think that was Tyler DeSmit. There's Lee again on a tackle with Darius. And offensively, you just get the ball back to us. We're found some things we can do and want to be able to go back to work. After a good punt by them, we get the ball deep in our territory. Tyler gets the ball out. Love the block there by David Warner. Again, as you talked about, there's no telling how many times that guy's block has really sprung a good play. You see Trip Newfield on the edge, Cameron McQueen, another guy that's not mentioned a whole lot in this game, but man, the blocks that Cameron had during the game were really crucial for what we were able to do offensively.
You're really kind of starting to lean on him now, aren't you?
Great block there by Deontay, and you can just see AK again. It's got a lot of speed, able to make guys miss, and Brandon loves those. Throw for 300 yards, just get the ball out there, and that's a nice 60, 70 yard pass there.
As a wise man once said, "If I can outrun you, you can't catch me," and you've already proven that twice tonight.
They come back to the Q run game underneath, and thought we had a nice turnover here, and unfortunately it was ruled down, and so we just come right back. Darius Thornton gets a nice play, outstanding job by Darius to get that interception. Just look at the pocket. The pass protection was excellent, and you can see as Brandon's just able to step up in the pocket, make a nice throw to CJ. And I believe that's the third touchdown on the night. That's the one that broke the record. Congratulations to Tyler and all those big linemen that blocked for him over these 3 years. Nice play there by Asa Carter. Asa's just relentless in his effort and the way that he plays the game, and get a really nice quarterback sack there by Asa. See Dalton Teagan there. Man, Elijah Harris does a great job. Comes in and a couple of plays here. You see Elijah, look at the stop there. Breaks up a pass, almost gets an interception. Senior free safety comes up, makes a nice play on the edge. Real proud of Harris. Get the ball outside. Landon's got a little bit of speed as well, and makes one guy miss and get down the sideline there. You see Adonis Martin is in at quarterback now and does a great job operating the offense, just like the way we really don't change our offense, I guess is what I'm trying to say, whether Adonis or Brandon's in there. Adonis does a really nice job.
These are important snaps for a guy like this.
Love the throw and catch here and a little double move down inside the red zone, looking for a slant pass, and we work a little pump there to Cameron McQueen and able to close out the night.
And even though it is late, it is good to get him snaps, and all those guys snaps for that matter. You can see other guys in there playing, and at the end of the night, you get your 35, so you got your district points. And you do come away kind of feeling good about it, but you got some things to little chew on this week too, right?
Oh, we definitely do. We know exactly where the mistakes are, what we need to do. Again, I think it's the mental loafs that cause some of our problems. We can't have that going in. We're getting really close to that week 11 to that playoff situation, and we've got to be a little more mature than what we were.
Oh, and it's going to change this week. The different kind of I guess you say challenge. It comes with an M, but it's Mustang, not more. We'll talk about that and also take a look at some pictures when we come back on the Union Football Coaches Show.
Frontier Valley Conference. 10 schools. Broken Arrow, Bartlesville, Bixby, Bishop Kelly, Jinx, Muskogee, Owasso, Sand Springs, Sapulpa, Union. .22 sports, 509 state titles. numbers don't lie. Frontier Valley Conference. Strength in numbers.
We're back on the U Football Coaches Show. I'm Rick Corey along with Kirk Frederick, the head coach of the Redskins. Let's get right to taking a look at some up close and personal great shots of the game against Moore.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to have Dean there with us. Did a really nice job. Talked a lot about Damon Lopez. He was a guy that moved from defensive line to offensive line this year. You see Lopez there, D-Lo, big guy on our front, does a nice job with the block. Talk about explosion. There's that weight room. That's that triple point explosion there, coming out of the hips, as you want to call it there. Shamari Brooks, a nice play. There's the fourth down play to Deontay. A lot of focus in that play right there. Perfectly defended and still come up with the play. Nice job by DC. Great effort here by Io. Io on the punt block. He missed it, got it last week, but you can see that effort laying out, trying to get that punt.
And his point of where he's going, it's so perfect.
A lot of change of direction, speed in this kid right here, AK. I mean, he is putting his foot in the ground, making guys miss. Did a nice job. There's CJ again. CJ, that's the one where he caught the big pass, and he's taken off down the field. And CJ Moore with another touchdown reception. There's Shamari, just off the finger. It's a game of inches, you know, and Shamari just off the fingertips there, playing really tough for us.
Sometimes it's a game of inch,
Yes,
and that was pretty close. Yeah.
Asa Carter, there's that quarterback sack. This is a great shot. I'm not sure how they get all these. And then Elijah Harris, we talked about, does a really nice job. Isaiah at the safety position coming up, wrapping up. Great tackle for him there. Cameron McQueen. Cameron does a really good job there. As I said, the double move. You can see the corner is completely faked out there, broke his ankles, I guess, on that double move, and Cameron gets a nice touchdown to close the night out.
All right, here comes a Mustang team that's really good. What do they do well?
Well, Mustang, we're very familiar. We played them 2 times in about 3-week span last year. Played us really tough in the regular season. We put a game plan together for the semifinals, but outstanding quarterback, a really solid receiver, stingy defense. As I told our coaching staff and we talked to our team, is they will play us about as tough as anybody. Really tough kids, and they'll fight you to the end. And for us, we've got to put together a really good plan for them.
Need to see you out there at Union Tuttle Stadium. It's Mustang and Union, and we'll talk about it next week right here on the Union Football Coaches Show.